Hi, in this video, I am going to explain you the types of testing that are most commonly used in software industries. Actually, there are many types of testing. If you Google, you can find it out easily, a list of testing types. But here I'm going to explain only a few testing types that you should know before you start your software testing journey. I would like to share the types of testing that I found when Googled online. I'm typing how many types of software testing are there. The result shows a huge list. Once I scroll down, I see 15 testing methods and more different types given below. Then I see Guru 99 where it says 100 types. So let's check in there and you can go through these if you like. But for me, it is impossible to remember so many types. I guess in the beginning of the testing journey, we should be very clear about the few testing types that are mostly used in the companies and are important. Functional testing. What does that mean? Functional testing simply means that you are going to test functionality of the software or system. For example, the login page or any sign up page. In other words, it is a testing that tells what the system does and then answering it as yes or no, whether it is working or not, whether it functions accurately as expected or not. It is the most dominant part of software testing. What is non-functional testing? In this type, we test the performance of the software or the system that has to be tested. In other words, we should test how the system or the software performs or whether its performances is good as expected or not. For example, suppose when you are into some login page, as soon as you log in, next comes the loading time of the page. If the page loads after some time, which is not expected performance, then it is considered as slow performance, which should not be the case. So the performance test is considered not good as it is taking more time than expected, especially these matters where the performance of the software is important. This type of non-functional testing is mostly user-based, whether the user finds the software easy to use and whether the load time is good or not. Overall, it is to know how the performance of the software is and what needed to be fixed. This is an objective way of testing the non-functionality of the software. Mostly depends on the user experience. Next comes black box testing. This type of testing is very important and easy to perform. This requires no knowledge of the internal structure or coding part. In other words, let's say the software testing that accesses an application's functioning without looking at its internal components is known as black box testing. Practically every level of software testing, including unit, integration, system, and acceptance testing, may be conducted using this test methodology. Testing that is based on specifications is another name for it. White box testing. This type of testing is a more challenging and advanced type of testing. By looking at the internal structure of the software, one should know the programming language in which this software is being built. For example, when you provide the input, you should be knowing everything that is happening to the output in order to test the software's overall functionality and non-functionality. In this type, the external and internal parts both are tested. The tester or the developer needs to know the internal structure of the system, which includes the coding part, the database, or the APIs of the software. Please note, as we have to know functional versus non-functional testing and white box versus black box testing, we can also combine these testing types for software testing. For example, functional testing using black box testing or functional testing using white box testing if we are looking at the functionality by looking at the code. Next comes static testing. Testing that doesn't require execution of the software is called static testing. For example, reviewing the usability or a prototype testing, reviewing the code or say application. Retesting or confirmation testing. Now, retesting is done to confirm any type of tests. During retesting phase, the tester needs to follow up the created bug or defect reports when posted to reproduce it. The defect report assists the tester in running the test using the same test procedures, test data, and test environment as they did previously. Regression testing. Regression testing takes place when the developer made some changes that could be anything like adding or removing a feature, solving a defect, or changing anything in the requirement field. In this type of testing, the tester needs to test the parts of the software that is not being changed or altered. For example, in the login functionality or edit page or profile change functionality. In other words, testing the unchanged areas to ensure that they are not affected by the changes made by the developers. Whereas, like in retesting phase, the testers tests the changed areas of the software for debugging. Generally, regression testing used to rerun the functional and non-functional tests to ensure that the previously tested areas that are being reported are behaving as expected or not. Regression testing may be necessary for modifications like as bug repairs, software upgrades, configuration changes, and even the replacement of electronic parts. Test automation is widely used since regression test suites tend to expand as more flaws are discovered. To select an appropriate subset of tests, a change impact analysis may be conducted. Next is smoke testing. Smoke testing is also known as confidence testing or build verification testing. This testing type ensures whether the build of the software is stable enough to continue for quality testing. Further testing is being done by the quality testers to continue with the testing. In smoke testing, the basic set of tests are being done to confirm the stability of the software. In other words, testing out the main functionality of the software build. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video.